the final time I was taking my Jag in for a service, I saw the lady at the desk, and I went. She said, "Oh, here's the keys to your car," and it was a racing spec limited edition XE, and I was like, "Is there any chance that you can let me take one of the F types?" And she fucking played me, Luke. She played me so hard. She went, "Yeah, let me check." Yeah. Get fucked. And I was like, that. Noted. See you in a bit.
What's going on, guys? And welcome back to another episode of the Dual Hemisphere Hangout. My name is Luke, and join with me each and every week. I do have my lovely co-host, Jake. Jake, my man, say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing? And look at this fine, majestic man in the morning. And I have descended into darkness for... I think this is maybe like the third time we've had to do this now, where we've had like a couple of... what is it? Schedule swaps. So it's dark. It's dark for me. I'm not really... Usually I'm winding down for bed at this point. But we're here. I'm here for a podcast.
We're here.
We're just going to sling it from the hip. I mean, to be honest, we could have been... It was a fraction away from a live stream, Luke, because I almost hit start streaming by accident when we were... There's a little bit at the start of the podcast where I click go and I'm like,
boy.
Oh, that'd have been fun. As watching Fate just jump into chat going, what's this?
What's this? Yes, guys. As usual, I think it's kind of well known at this point. If you ever see the swaps, usually means that this is a pre-recorded episode, because if you watched last week's episode, Jake is currently working when you guys are seeing this. He is working. They're putting him to work. He's gonna make a lot of money, but he's getting put to work. So that is why we're doing this.
5 a.m. Oh, it makes me feel a bit sick. I said to Rich like before we ate just now, I was like, "Oh, this is the last day off for the next 12 days," and just saying that alone made me like want to throw up. And then I've got like a 14-hour day next Thursday as well, right at the very end. So. I mean, no one from work is watching this, but it might be a sick day on next Friday. Jakey boy might be having a 3-day weekend.
I mean, hey, you gotta treat yourself when you need to treat yourself, because that's a long period of time of working with no break. So
yeah, I don't actually know the legal requirement. I think it's like 14 days, but I think that's 14 days for shift workers. So they don't really care if you're working 9 to 5. But if you're working like through the night, then it's set out in the union agreement that you're kind of locked into like you have to have a break, or they start giving your pay starts going through the roof, or like you start earning your days back as annual leave. I mean, not much has happened between now and the last podcast. I had a lovely few FaceTimes back home to my mum and her partner. And then my best friend, Matt. They were quite fun. I had quite a lot of drinks last night. So I've spent the majority of the day. I got up. I turned up to my stream. I hit the stream slot. Just started flagging towards the end. No shinies, but it's all right. And then I went straight back to bed. And me and Rich got out of bed at approximately like 6 in the afternoon. At the time of recording this, it's now 8:30, so I've only been out of bed for 2 hours, barring the stream.
Jeez. Man, I wish I could do that. I no longer get to do that. That's crazy.
I mean, you've got a dog now, so the dog will want to go out, and we do not have to move. Like, unfortunately, some of the neighbors were doing some it must have been yard work, or they were hammering something. And the windows are so thin that it sounds like they're in the room with you. It's really, really annoying.
Yeah, that's lame.
But it was nice to see back home, and it turns out nothing much is happening back there. They're having a heat wave again. They're going through like their third heat wave back to back to back, which is crazy.
Damn.
I was trying to remember what my mum said. Something like really funny. Mainly, we were just talking about like the developments around my hometown, which is really nice to see now. I mean, it would happen
Yeah.
as soon as I left, but
Yeah.
like the
That's
whole
always how it works.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it when you came back to Virginia, Luke, but like now they've got the whole like town center's getting like redone, reworked, new
Mhm.
flags, trees going up. They're creating like an outdoor food court plaza area with
Oh,
live
fun.
bands on.
Yeah.
And then the Huddersfield Town Stadium's getting like redone, and that's getting like a whole new building, which I think looks absolutely. It doesn't look good at all, at
Yeah.
all. I
Oh,
don't know who
damn.
approved it, but that's gonna have like loads of bars, and it's gonna be like the sports
Yeah.
day experience that I think like. Well, you Americans just pull out the trucks, right? You pull a Barbie in the car park. I've seen that. That's wild, absolutely
Oh,
wild.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
they run out parking lots all the time to do random shit. Like yesterday, I was literally driving to go get breakfast with my friend, um, and I was like going through a parking lot. I'm like cutting through the parking lot, like I'm like I'm not trying to avoid traffic, just gonna go through this parking lot. Turns out that was the wrong decision to make because they're having like a Freedom Riders event in front of the Harris Teeter parking lot with like Mustangs and Harley Davidsons and American flags and the country music station playing. And I'm just like, bro, it's Sunday. I mean, bro, it's Saturday morning. I'm just trying to go get some pancakes. What the fuck? Like
I
some
hate that
people was
one.
like, man, that's
It's just
so
random traffic.
un-American. I know. They're like, that's so un-American. How could you? I was like, bro, I don't give a fuck. It's 9 in the morning. What are we doing?
Leave me alone.
What are we doing? Leave me
But
alone.
yeah,
It's 9 in the morning. Do this shit in the middle of the day. What are we
so
doing?
the town center's getting a lot of reworks, which should be.
Yeah.
My mum said that because she works for the council, they should be done for by the time I go back. But it'll be middle of
Christmas.
winter, and no one will really be using them.
That's
So
fair.
that was really nice to hear. Obviously,
Yeah.
I do vouch for my hometown at some point, but it is an absolute shithole at the moment. Like,
Yeah.
it's so run down. And there's no shops open. The only shops that
Yeah.
are open are vape shops and takeaways. Like there was a big student population in Huddersfield because of the
Mhm.
uni. The uni is actually like really a really good university, or
Mhm.
college where it is in your terms, Luke. Um,
Yeah.
it's like top 10 for like midwifery and nursing.
Oh, good.
So it's quite distinguished. So you get a lot of students, but like there was a facility like housing estate that was built in the middle of nowhere, which was a great idea for the residents. Because all the students can make as much noise as they want, party all night in the middle of a field, and just be not bother anyone. Um,
Yeah.
Turns out for the students, though, that's really not good. They don't like that at all. Having to, if you want to go out and you want to have a drink in the town, you have to get. It's a free bus, but you have to spend 45 minutes on a bus to get there.
Yeah.
Like you're just not going to do that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's
Doesn't
at
sound
that
like a
point you
great
could
time.
be in Manchester or Leeds and you can do a big city night
Yeah.
out. So I think
Mhm.
the Huddersfield Town Centre has suffered from that, and they're saying that they're knocking those flats down now and bringing the students back into the town centre. So hopefully, fingers crossed, some businesses will actually be able to survive and live, and then the town
Yeah.
centre will become what it was when I
Yeah.
was a kid, because there was loads of
Yeah.
stuff going on when I was a kid, but
Mhm.
it's turned into a bit of a dilapidated wreck. And then my sister's
Yeah.
got an old banger of a car now, which is great. She
Mhm.
passed a test like 4 or 5 years ago, and then like well, it's probably not 4 or 5 years, probably like 2 or 3 years ago, and then never driven. So I was like, it's very weird. I mean, cars are expensive, but
Yeah.
like
They are.
I'd want to keep my eye in. I wouldn't want to like as soon as I got my license, I wanted to be in a car. I wanted to be driving because it's that we were talking about that feeling of the first time ever driving in a car by yourself and how
Mhm.
daunting that is. And I was saying that it's not like the driving was a like the mechanically and controlling the car was fine. It's more that I had an issue with like what if I don't see something, I'm having a crash. There's no one there else to save me. Like my driving instructor isn't going to slam
Mhm.
on the brakes because he's not there. Uh, like if I don't, if I'm not fully aware of what's going on, it's just game over. And I remember
Yeah.
that being the most scariest thing when I drove my car for
Mhm.
the first time by myself. Well, it wasn't my car; it was my mum's car. So the stakes were even higher. I was like, if I write this off, my mum can't go to work, and she's going to be really, really annoyed. Really.
Yes.
And how do you guys get driving? You have driving like lessons over there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so, when you turn 15, you can get your learner's permit.
Oh shit! Yeah, you can drive
Um,
super early over there.
yeah, when you turn 15, you can get your learner's permit, which means that you have to drive, I think, like 40 hours with supervision in a car. And then when you turn 16, once you get all those things and you pass your like written exam, like, in order to get your learner's permit, you have to pass like a written test basically to get your learner's permit. After you do that, you do your 40 hours or something like that, and then once you turn 16, then you can take your driver's test to get your license. I did not, and most high schools provide that like free. There's like sign up, so you sign up at your local high school for a driving test. It's free of charge. We went the private route. For me, just because I was just like I'm telling you right now, uh, I don't like the driver's ed teacher, and she doesn't like me, so we're not going to go that route. So we
Sam.
paid like $100. And yeah, I passed with flying colors. She said I was her best student driver. My mom was absolutely shocked by those words. And I was just like, because my mom was very pessimistic, and she's like, "Oh, you need to do this better. You need to do this better. You need." My mom is the type of person that will always go the speed limit. Like, no, never go faster, never go slower. Like, always just a speed limit, full complete stop. Checks both ways 5 times before she pulls off the stop sign. You know what I mean? Um, and so once you pass your driver's test, then you go to court, and then they issue your driver's license, and then you're good to go. So
That's crazy.
that's basically how you can get your license as soon as you turn 16. Basically, I think maybe it might be like 16 in 3 months or something like that. But as soon as you hit that 16 mark, you've done all your learner's permit stuff, you can get your license. And if not, once you turn 18, you can just take a driver's test and then get your
Yeah,
license.
that's
So that's
crazy.
like, so if you want to be an early driver, you have to go that route. But if you just want to wait till you're 18, you can wait till you're 18, go to the DMV, request a driver's test, and then if you pass the driver's test, they'll just give you your license.
So it's like when you were at school, was like everyone driving to school?
Not everyone. A majority of people though did. Like, we had a senior parking lot, so anyone who was a senior in high school, they could park their car in the senior parking lot, and there was parking. There was a small parking area for those who drove earlier and stuff like that. So yeah, I would say a majority. I would say a majority of my high school class probably were drivers, specifically once they were all like 17, 18 in our senior year. Most of my class was driving at that point.
Yeah, I mean, well, in college, it was very, very few because it was so expensive
Yeah.
to pass. And if you didn't have like a parent that could take you out and teach
Mhm.
you, like I was paying, was it £21? No, it can't have been 20. It might have been £11 an hour. So like,
Okay.
give or take 16, $17 an hour to pass.
Mhm.
And I racked up like maybe 30 hours ish. And that was like a mate's rate deal to pass.
Mhm.
It was really
Mhm.
I was recommended a driving instructor from a friend who lived up the road, and he was like a really, really good driving instructor. But he gave me mates rates. I think his usual rate was £21 an hour. Now, when my
Woo.
sister went to go pass, people are charging like upwards of 30 to £40
Mm.
an hour, a
That's
lesson.
wild.
And usually people take like 20, 30, 40 lessons, 2 a week. It's crazy, and then God forbid you don't pass your driving test because you have to pay for the driving test, and you have to book that within
Mhm.
like maybe 6, 7 months in advance now. So if
Mm.
you've got to time it, so you're not you don't get ready to pass. Like for me, it was really easy. Like you just go on your driving lessons. It's like, okay, my driving instructor's like, I think you are ready to go for your driving test. So we're going to
Mhm.
book you in, and then it's like 2 weeks, and then you're in. Now you have to kind of like preempt. It's like, okay, right. So we're going to start with your lessons now. We're going to have your lessons, or or I'll book you in for like and you're going to get like a date in like 9 months, and then we'll start your lessons in 4 months' time. So you've already paid for these lessons like 4 months in advance. It's very, very weird. These poor kids can't get on the road. And I mean, it's a core life skill. Like, I can't imagine not being able to drive. Like, just getting in the car. Like, I went and picked up some tacos today. All I have eaten today is Mexican food. I think for the last 4 days, all I've eaten is Mexican food. My body is starting to shut down. I have been a fat pig.
All that ground beef and all that, carne asada, all that.
Spicy pulled pork. Oh, man, extra cheese,
your
lettuce.
Your butthole is upset.
It was this morning, man.
I can imagine. That's crazy though. Like when you think about it like that, but so like I guess in England, my question is like, okay, again, you live in a small town. So is driving a necessity? Like, do you need to like here you have like you to get to point A to point B, you can Uber, you can use public transport, but it's not cost effective. It's much more cost effective to actually get a car, get insurance on the car, and drive to work, stuff like that, versus like public transport or Ubering or like ride sharing or anything like that. Is it so? Would you say it's a necessity over in England that you need to have a car, or is it one of those things where one, your average Joe could survive, go to work, and live a comfortable life and not have to worry about having a car?
Oh, you could definitely not have a car. I mean, your life will be significantly more stressful. You'll be wasting a lot of time waiting for buses and trains. But the UK is very good in the fact that you can get almost anywhere in the UK on a train.
Mm-hmm.
All you need to do is get to like one of the main stops. But these trains run through like the most rural villages, and I think it's like it's quite quintessentially British, really. Waiting on a platform, so there'll just be 2 concrete slabs in the middle of nowhere in a village that you don't know where you are, and you're waiting for a train that you don't know is going to turn up. It's pelting down with rain. The next train's coming in an hour because they run every hour, and you've got there way too early, or God forbid you've missed it by 2-3 minutes. Usually there's a pub nearby where you could just skirt in, but if you're too young, like, what are you going to do? Sit there and have a Coca-Cola and and a packet of nuts? So, but yeah, you'll be sat on that platform for 55 minutes in the freezing cold, in the rain, and then you see the headlights come up and the train pulls up and it's full of weirdos. But you can get anywhere in the UK on a train to a certain degree, and then there'll be local buses, and then obviously there's always taxis. Uber's quite a big thing, but Uber's super expensive, but it's cheaper than the actual taxi ranks.
Fair, yeah.
And it's more convenient, I guess. It's just the convenience of knowing that a car's near you. But then again, like if it's here, you definitely need a car. Well, technically, I live 15 minutes walk from the station, but to go get my tacos today, if I'd have got them delivered, it would have cost me $20 Australian more. So of course I'm going to go pick them up because it's a 5-minute drive down the road. Technically, I could walk there, but it would take me like 30-40 minutes. It's not too long. It's like maybe half a mile. So I could walk there and back if I really wanted to. But yeah, I feel like I don't know what my sister's got this banger, and then if she drives it, she drives it. She's probably just going to drive it to the shop, but mainly to take my nephew to pick her up from school, man. There's going to be one. He's starting school soon, and Luke knows what it's like, where they're going to get sick, and they're going to need to be picked up at some point. It's like, or if you're me, and I've got, which eyebrow is it that's got like the big gap in it there? You're going to smash your head in, and you're going to be pouring with blood. Yeah. But it's like, they called my mum and went, he's fine, he's laughing. You just need to take him to the hospital to get it stitched up because it's pretty bad. Yeah. It's pretty
bad.
And I think I did that like 3 times. It was kind of crazy. Like, first time I used my head as a third wheel of a trike. So I was on a trike and I took the corner too heavy, and then my head became the stabilizer. So that was just running down the gravel. And then I think Another one where I ran into another kid and then clashed heads, and then it hit the same scar and it just burst open.
Oof.
And then another time where my cousin and I thought it was really funny to go down the stairs in a pillowcase, and then I smashed my head on the letterbox of the door.
Jesus, Jake. That's fucking your poor head, dude.
My skull's had a bit of a pounding, really, as a kid. I should have had some more brain damage than this, but maybe that's why it unlocked my Pokemon skills and Excel skills, because I can hyperfixate.
The pillowcase head smash is the one that unlocked the Excel skills. The second cranium crash with the kid unlocked your ability to know your type charts. Oh, it's crazy. Well, speaking, since we're on the car topic, I think it'd be remiss not to mention, like, ask you, what is like your, like, quote unquote dream car? Like, if you could have any car in the world, what would it be?
Oh man.
And it doesn't have to be like a super car, or just like your favorite car in general.
I feel like it's changed over the years. So for the longest time, it would have been an all black with white racing stripes 1967 Ford Mustang. Okay. And that was like, as a kid, like, that was the car. I don't know where I saw one. I must have just had like a model of it as a kid, and it was my favorite car. Then as I grew up, you start learning about supercars and hypercars and all these other fancy-dancy, all bells and whistles. I mean, I think I remember when the first Bugatti came out, the Bugatti Veyron, I think it was. They're now onto like the Chiron. But the Veyron that could do like 242 miles an hour, and you look at it and go, oh my God, that's nice. And then obviously every kid that's into cars will always have a Ferrari or a Lamborghini that they liked. I liked the Lamborghini Countach and the Lamborghini Gallardo. I remember playing Need for Speed, man. Anything on Need for Speed, like Need for Speed Carbon, and then you're looking at like the Mitsubishi Evos and all the drift cars, and then Need for Speed Underground 2, and everyone wanted a Nissan Skyline. But I'm just now I have my semi dream car, I believe. My little Suzuki Jimny. My little fucking 1.6 litre 4 all-wheel drive J-Wagon. Man, that little car, it does not move. It will not move. It refuses to. You put your foot down, give it like 30 seconds. It's 0 to 60 is probably about 20 seconds. It's fine. But it's so small, like, because I've come from. I started off as a little city Renault Clio, little city car, European French, used for like whipping round like little city centres, Paris. Then I moved up to an Audi A3, which is like sort of like a mid-class tourer, like a bit more mileage on the motorway, German engineering, smooth ride. Then I got a bit of money and I bought a Jaguar XE-R Sport. That was the best car I've ever had. I stand by that. Red leather seats, blacked out rims, metallic grey paint, sunroof, heated seats, heated steering wheel. You could turn the fucking car on from my phone and cool down the car in hot days and heat it up in warm days. I think I've mentioned it on podcast before. I'd be on the bowl in the morning, lighting it up, and my car's warming up and it's -5 outside, but my car's at 21 degrees with the heated seat on, and you get in. Oh, it's fucking lovely. Then I bought a Mercedes C-Class 300D. Don't know why I bought that. I didn't really like it. It was a bit of an impulse buy. I think I got upsold. And then I traded that in for the best car all-rounder, I think, which is the Mercedes A-Class. I had an A200. And then swapped that in, and then we bought this Jimny. The Jimny is just it's just too small. Like it's I pick up stuff from IKEA and it won't fit in the car with the seats down. Like, so we're gonna have to buy a roof rack. But it's like a massive it's a baby utility vehicle. We call it the J-Wagon. Yeah. Because it looks like it's a G-Wagon, but a baby one with a 1.6 litre engine in it. If I could just replace the engine, Maybe put like a 2
Yeah.
liter, something a bit faster. Doesn't have to be like blitzing. And me and Rich
Yeah.
are gonna put like the interchangeable roof rack on it. So we're gonna have like,
Yeah.
so if my mum comes and they want to bring bigger suitcases, the suitcases won't fit in the car with a person.
Yeah.
It's kind of bad. So we can put the suitcases in the roof rack, but we also want an interchangeable one where we can get a pop up roof tent,
Yeah.
and we'll get like the bull bar and the ladders at the back, and we'll get the off road tires, and then maybe we'll start because we're allowed to drive on beaches here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you allowed to do that in America? Surely not. Oh,
Mhm.
you are?
Yeah.
Nice.
Certain beaches. Certain beaches.
Yeah, like it's mostly the northern ones up here where no one is. But yeah, like you see
Yeah.
people pull up the utes and they've got the fishing, like 10-foot, 15-foot
Yeah.
fishing poles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think I've got my dream car at the moment. I feel like I've gone through that phase of wanting a
Yeah.
Ford Mustang, wanting a Lamborghini, getting like a fast car, getting a fancy car with all the bells and whistles, and now I just want one that's going to be reliable and cheap to
Yeah.
fix.
To maintain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's the goal. I think that's the goal for sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of the same way. Like, obviously, my first ever car was a 1996 Nissan pickup. That's literally what it was. There was no brand name. It literally on the insurance thing it said 96 Nissan pickup. Like that's it. Like not a Frontier, not nothing. It just said pickup, hard body pickup. Love that car. That car was like my favorite thing in the entire world. That thing stopped counting at 250,000 miles. But it ran for like another 20. I'm assuming. I mean, it was a great thing. It was the saddest day in the world when that thing died. I'll never forget my dad, who I didn't have the best relationship with. Towards the end, he came by just I was like, Dad, my car is like not working because he was a mechanic for like 25 years. And he just I started up, he took one look at it and he just said, she's gone. And I was like, no,
No,
it was the
I can imagine him just
saddest
like
thing.
putting his finger on the pulse of the car and just
Yeah.
going, you know, when
He
doctors
kind
like
of
go,
did that. Like he
It's
just kind of
like,
looked at it
"Tenant."
and he's just like he just shut the thing and he's just like, she's gone. I'm like, no.
time of death, 10:30 in the
Um,
morning. It's like,
Yeah, basically, it was so sad, and like I mean, you knew about the car, like my entire friend group knew about the car. It was like it was a devastating like loss for the friend group. Was that car? So many memories in that car. I mean, I mean, that thing only had a front seat. Like there was and the bed. I mean, somehow we would manage like in the heyday, we would fit like 7 people in that car. Like I would like they would hop on the interstate, put people in the bed of the truck, drive down to the Olive Garden. Like it'd be raining, people are getting wet. Like it was fun times, fun times. Lots of fishing trips. You could not take her on the interstate. Like she did not like the interstate at all. She would not go over like 65 miles an hour. So I always took the long way with her. Great car. Miss that car dearly. If I ever saw another one, I would buy it in a heartbeat and sell my
surely
current
there's going to be
car.
one on
Um,
Marketplace. Just pull
yeah,
the
for
trigger,
sure. But
Luke.
I know, but I want to just see it in the wild and be like, I will give you $5,000 for this car right now. No questions asked. It doesn't have an engine. Fuck it. I'll put one in.
Yeah.
And so after that, I moved on to a Chevy Cruze, which was a piece of shit. Fucking hated that car. That's when I realized that just because it's newer doesn't mean it's better. Because there's like there's the first like it had the Bluetooth, it had the automatic roll down windows, all like automatic roll down windows. That's not fancy. Well, for me, when I was doing this for fucking 20 years,
Yeah,
roll down the window, having an
it's a
automatic
skill
window.
these kids will never have of trying to drive straight while doing this.
Exactly right. But I mean, something went bad on it, and then everything else proceeded to go bad on the Chevy. So that ended up going goodbye. I ended up getting I had a payment on it, but I ended up getting the payment rescinded because of all the issues with the car. And so they just said, you know what, you can just pay, what you've paid on it, and we'll wipe the debt clear because turns out we didn't do our work on it and there was something wrong with the car. And we sold it to you because I only had it for like a year and a half before it shit the bed. And it had like 19,000 miles on it when I bought it. And it was like at 40,000 shit started going wrong on it. So something happened. I think what they said is they think it got an engine replacement and no one said that, like they didn't see it on their whatever. And then currently I'm driving a Ford Escape right now. Love that. Like a typical like SUV type car. Fords Escapes aren't like the worst cars. They're just not, Fords just aren't necessarily made the best anymore. Like a Ford like Focus or like a Ford Mustang, like those are pretty good. The F-150s are made pretty well, but like the other ones aren't. So I think around like 120,000 miles. We're like around like 87 on this one right now. Around 120, they say that's when shit starts going bad. So I'm like, I know it's coming at some point, probably within the next year or two, that we're gonna have to maybe do some engine work, and then I'll probably at that point maybe bite down and get another car payment. I don't like car payments. I really don't. I think they're fucking scummy and scammy. I'd
Yeah.
much rather buy like a 4,000 piece of junk, drive it for
Mhm.
3 years, and then get another car and drive it again. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not necessarily like sold on the whole like buy this $35,000 car, pay on it for 7 years, and upgrade it. Then I'm like, that's just pointless. I just don't. I don't see the logic behind. Or so if I can't buy it flat out, then I shouldn't be buying that car, in my opinion. Um, that being said, if I were to have any car, like my favorite car in the entire world, brand of car in the entire world, are Jaguars. I love Jags. One of my fondest memories of my father in the mechanic shop was all they would work on is Jags. Like that was their specialty.
Yeah.
Like you would drive like into his thing, into their place of work, and you would see rows on putting rows of Jags just sitting there. People, customers left them. Like some of them were rusting out on the bottom, but like it was just nothing but Jags. That's all they worked on was Jags. But my favorite Jag is the F Type, and I always wanted a 2017 F Type coupe. That's definitely like my favorite Jag. Like love that. Like that's the dream car of mine. Like if I could ever get my hands on that and not like go into severe debt, I would. They're not that expensive. You can get a used one for like 35 around here.
I mean,
But
you could get them with like mass amounts of miles on. Like I remember
yeah.
as a kid, as a dumb kid, and I had a bit of money
Mhm.
left behind. And you look on whatever motor vehicle app, it's called
Yeah.
Auto Trader in the UK.
Mhm.
It's basically it was before like Facebook Marketplace and stuff, solely for cars and vans. And I saw an Aston Martin DB9, James Bond,
Oh wow.
in Aston Martin Racing Green for £3,000, Luke. £3,000.
Mm.
It would have had everything wrong with it under the sun. I think it had like over 200k miles on it, but it's an Aston Martin, and I could have
Yeah.
drove an Aston Martin. It's like-
Mhm.
and then it would have broke down, and I couldn't afford the new parts, so I didn't buy
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah, a smart decision.
But you could do the same
But
with an
yeah,
F Type.
I could, but I don't want to. I'll go to the Jaguar dealership and get one myself. One day. But yeah, that's kind of like my current dream car that I would want. That's not like too crazy. Like it definitely is it's a sports car, but it's not like fucking Ferrari over here. And I just like Jags. I've always liked
Yeah,
Jags.
I do have
And yeah, obviously. Mhm.
I have a small story about an F Type before we move on from the. It's like
Okay.
it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
when
yeah, yeah.
I took my Jag in for a service,
Mhm.
as
Uh-huh.
it's a very premium car, and
Yeah.
you always get offered a courtesy car.
Mhm.
Usually it's of type, but because Jaguar are in with Land Rover and Range Rover,
Yeah.
I've been given a Landy before, and I've been given a Range Rover before.
Mhm.
And the final time I was taking my Jag in for a service, I saw the lady at the desk, and I
Mhm.
went. She said, "Oh, here's the keys to your car," and it was a racing spec limited edition XE, and I was like,
Ooh.
"Is there any chance that you can let me take one of the F types?" And she she fucking played me, Luke. She played me so hard. She
Yeah.
went, "Yeah, let me
Yeah.
check. Get fucked."
I
And I was like,
love that.
"Noted. See you in a bit."
Yeah.
And she'd seen me a couple of times before. Like she knew, like that's
Yeah.
one good thing about like the higher end garages. They remember you. I remember when I first
Yeah.
bought my Jag, and I bought it off a guy called Chris, and he fucking played me something chronic because it's my first car. I'd sold my Audi. I am now carless because I was going into
Yeah.
that garage and I was buying it on the day and I was putting the money down. And he came out, and they go back into the room and they check the finance. And, it's that little 15-minute wait where you sat there twiddling your thumbs, and I'm sat there with my mum, just in case, because I was like, if I need a guarantor, you're going to have to be it, mum. And he came back, and he had the sold sign against his chest. And then he buried it behind the paperwork. And he was like, Jake, I've got some bad news, mate. Like, I don't think you're going to be able to get the finance on this. I was like, Chris, don't fucking say this, man. Like, first of all, you tripped me like shit when I first walked in here because I was an 18-year-old trying to buy a Jag. And he's like, what are you doing? And then he was like, I got you. I was like, you can't play with me at that point. Like, I was carless. My car had been driven off by a random person taking it to Leeds. I sold
Fucking
it for £3,000. Fucking Leeds. I'm never getting that back.
Oh man, that's so funny. I love that.
But yeah, that was my little chance of the smallest sliver of being able to drive an F-Type, and they said no.
Yeah, I've seen so many. I've seen a couple of them are out and about, and every time I see one, I'm just like, "You want me to? Can I just take it around the block?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Fair enough."
No.
I had to try because most people they don't really get compliments on it. Like in the States, like Jags are not like super like people care more about like your BMWs, your Audis, like
the big Merc guys over there, right? I see a lot of people like the G-Wagons, the GLEs.
The G-Wagons. Yeah, lots of Mercedes, stuff like that. But like Mustangs, Chargers, like people don't bat an eye when they see a Jag. But every time I see a Jag, they're like, your shit. I'm like my dad worked on for 30 years. It's kind of ingrained. They're ingrained on me. So, but yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. Look at us talking about cars. Nothing but a bunch of dudes talking about cars on a Sunday.
All right, let me just go get a beer real quick.
Yeah. And you just you start working, like the stereotypical, you just working on your car. I'm just sitting over there like, you need to tighten that a little bit more.
And then you just look at it for a little bit and you just stare. No one says anything. And it's like,
no one says, they're just like, nice. It's good.
I would highly recommend it, Luke, if you ever get the chance to get in a Jag. Honestly, the best car I've ever had. And it always will be. I don't think there'll be anything close.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I want one really, really bad. And then the only other car that I could see myself like getting is I also just see the way the world's shaping up. And I know eventually like electric cars are going to be the future, like gas cars are just going to stop getting made. I will say I hate Teslas. I do not like any Teslas. I don't like the fucking Cybertruck. Get fucked. The thing's the ugliest piece of shit I've ever fucking seen in my goddamn life. Fuck that thing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's a Balenciaga take, right? Where they try and sell like a fucking bin bag for $20,000 and saying, "Oh, it's fashion." It's like, okay, whatever you want, mate. If you could sell them, if some sucker's gonna buy it, sell it. Like that's it.
No, it reminds me that all I can see when I see that thing is a Honda Ridgeline, because like Honda's Ridgeline, they try to be unique and have like that weird like diagonal bed instead of a typical square bed, and they were the ugliest pieces of shit, and to the point where Honda was like, maybe if we're gonna make a truck, we'll just make it look like a truck so people will buy it, and then people start buying the Ridgeline again. But I was like, I see that, but I will say I saw someone driving a Rivian truck, and that was really, really nice, and it actually looked like a truck. But they're also like $100K. So
there's a couple of EVs around here. Like, have you heard of BYD?
Mm-hmm.
Build Your Dreams, Chinese company, I think it is. My mate at work's got a seal. They're all named after aquatic animals. It's very weird. Really nice car on the inside. It's gorgeous. Like, I'm not a big fan of the shape. Again, it's a bit like a Tesla, a bit rounded. I'm more of a cut edge type of guy. I like a box.
Yeah.
Not very aerodynamic, but that's just the style I like. It's retro style. They call it retro style. It's coming back. They've just released the Shark. Ooh. That's like a full bed pickup. Basically, it's an F450 with an electric engine in it. Goes like split shit. Like, it's so fast. And I see a lot of them now in Australia. They're a big boy brand. And then there's like Ineos as well. I think they make like electric Landies. And it's eventually we will get electric forced down our throat. It'll just be they'll put such a surcharge on diesel and petrol cars that you'll have to go electric at some point. I just hope they don't go too futuristic with them. And if I could just get an electric car in a Suzuki Jimny, be my guest.
Yeah, which honestly, looking at it, shouldn't be that hard to fucking do. It's just, I mean, when you look at it at its core, it literally you just take all the nuts and bolts out of it and take all the, you just put a small, like you said, small little computer engine. The only thing I'm not looking forward to with the electric vehicles, is the repairs when they come, right? Like, because when you get hit in a Tesla, it's not just like, oh, we're gonna replace your panel. Like, no, we got to replace your entire like system hardware and mess with these wires and your hard drives and shit, and it's just not a good look at all.
The more sensors, more problems, buddy. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
The reason why those old cars lasted the way they did, and they said, I never had a problem with my old pickup, it's because you didn't fucking know there was a problem with it. Like
Exactly. No, you didn't know that there was a problem with it. It literally is just like, they're just metal, dude. They were just metal, and they fucking drove forever. You could hit a fucking tree and be fine. Like, you're chilling, dude.
It's good fun.
The amount of time.
The only time you'd see a problem is when you look in your rearview mirror and your fucking wheels falling off.
Exactly. That's I think the only time, like, so I'm trying to think of like the things that happened on that truck. Well, the only things that's ever happened on that truck, the water pump did need to get replaced one time. It kept overheating, and we couldn't figure out why it was overheating. And then one time, and this is bad. This is when I realized, like, when my dad's, I would always still take my car to where my dad's shop was, even though he no longer worked there and stuff like that. They knew me. And they literally said, yeah, your bolts that connect your wheels, they're like completely snapped. He's like, if you kept driving this, you would have probably lost both your front wheels and would have died. And I'm like, oh, great. And it's literally because one day I think I was driving back home from my mom's house. And I was going too fast. I really was. And I really thought the part where you go to get into the turn lane was longer than it was. Turns out there's like two turn lanes. There's like a left turn lane and then a curb and then another left turn lane. I got into the turn lane to turn somewhere else, and I was going 50 down this. I hit a curb, and I mean shit straight out of fours that my fucking car went vroom, kept driving just fine. Like, it didn't go that hot far up, but like, I literally, the way I hit the curb, my car went like this in the air, probably got like 10 to 15 feet up off the air, and then hit back down. And I kept driving because it was fine. I scared the shit out of me. And then I took it in to get an oil change, and they're like, "Hey, Luke, your shit's fucked." And I'm like, "Oh."
I'll tell you who also had that
yesterday.
Issue. Jack, and I'm pretty sure he won't mind me telling you this. He had like an old Ford Focus or Fiesta, one of the two. And he's driving down the motorway, and he said like his wheels steering wheel's wobbling, but it's fine. And then he took it into the garage, and they said they showed him. They was like, Jack, you're gonna have to come in and see this, because I don't think this is it's not possible that your car drove 35 miles in this state. The wheel bearing, not the bolts, the bearing that the bolts go into was dust. It was dust. Yeah. They literally picked it up, and he has a video of it. Just like, it was like, you could have died on the motorway. Like, your wheel should have just come straight off,
blown off,
and it didn't. And it's when you said that, I was like, I've had that experience. I mean, I've had a couple of bad experiences when I'm driving, but not to that degree.
Yeah.
Like when we went down to EUIC with Nick. I dropped Nick off in Birmingham. There was a massive crash just above Birmingham. So I trusted the sat-nav. The sat-nav took me down the country lanes. I don't mind driving on country lanes. I've done it multiple times in the past. And I'm in my little A200D, my little Mercedes. And then
Yeah.
I see this car come past. It's a little bit of 4x4 type. A lot of water coming off it. It's not raining, but like, you know, like when a car drives past, there's a lot of water behind it. I'm like, is this radiator fucked? Do I like need to turn around and like not flash him down and say, mate? And then I turned the corner and then I realized where the water came from. Bro, there was a fjord. I think it's called a fjord. FJORD. Never mind fjord. It was a fucking river over the road. Like, and to a point where I couldn't reverse. Like, I can't reverse back. I'm gonna kill myself if someone comes around this. So I just had to send it, brother. I fucking sent it with it. The water came over the top. And me and Rachel just sat there. And
that's so dangerous. Oh my God, I cannot believe you did that.
It went over the top. The fucking, you know, like the headlights and all the lights in the car kind of like dimmed a little bit and then came back up. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to we're going to break down here.
Yeah.
So I got to the other end and I think I hit like a pothole in the river. So it went poof, poof. I bottomed out. I was like, oh, fuck. And I got out and looked underneath the car. It's all still in bits. Like, it's all together. And I see all the fucking water coming out of and I shouldn't have stopped. If you're driving through water, the best thing you can
never
do,
stop.
Just keep going.
Driving.
Yeah, like do not stop. Let the water get into the engine.
You never slow down when you're going through like a deep water. You just, like you said, you just have to send it, because if you stop, your car is going to stall out and you're fucked. Like you have to fucking power through.
So I got away with it because I think the way where I stopped after the river, it was a hill. So like the water was still coming in a unique direction. So when I kicked the car back up and it did the bit of the blah, 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 and then we carried on and it was fine. And then the only other time where I've had like a really bad experience in a car is I had all 4 brakes replaced on my Jag. No, on my Audi. And I'm going down the country lanes in Huddersfield, 50, 60 miles an hour. And I remember the Jim, my mechanic, saying like, just go easy on, like double your braking distance because they're not bedded in. But I'm like, I did brake like all the way through this journey. I've been driving for about 45 minutes. The brakes have felt fine. And then the moment I came to brake to go around a corner, bro, they did not grip. My brake went floppy. And I'm like drifting around the corner. I had to rip the handbrake up. I was like, holy shit. And I had to pull over after that. And I was like, oh my God. You know, you feel like you've just gone through like something where I should have been like upside down.
You almost died.
And and it's like, right, okay, I'm not doing that anymore. And then I had one on Snake Pass where I was going a bit too fast. No, I was going well under the speed limit, actually. Speed limit on Snake Pass is like 50, 60. I think I was doing like 45.
Yeah.
Again, like you, I hit a crest. Got a bit airborne, but it's pitch dark at this time. I can't see like but as I'm going airborne, there's a car coming towards me. So I have to, as soon as I hit the floor, I have to like rag it round and swerve through this guy, and the car's going. And then ever since then, I have never driven like an idiot in my life. So that I learned the hard way by near misses. That's
no, like that's
what I should
crazy.
ask. Never mind all of these bad ones. Where's the best place you've ever driven? Best road you've ever driven? It's a bit hard one because I imagine you've got some really nice places near you.
I've got a lot of places near me. Honestly, I would say probably I like driving down on the Eastern Shore a lot because it's the very coastline of Virginia. Is how you get basically a way of driving through Virginia without having to go like, because Virginia's fucking huge. If you look at Virginia, it's a fucking huge fucking state. So we go up the shoreway to get to like Maryland, DC. This is basically where I get to New York. It's just a straight road for like 60, 70 miles. And you go through all these little towns and there's some greenery and stuff like that. I really like that section of the trip because it's just very nice, smooth. Like, you do have to stop a couple times because of the stoplights, but like you just drive straight and you're cruising around like 45, 50 miles for the majority of it. I like that road. And I also like, I mean, even though I joke around about the driving up there when there was ice on the fucking road up a mountain, but that like 35-minute drive up the mountain and down the mountain from going up to Ticonderoga in New York it's it's beautiful. Like it's a
Yeah.
beautiful road. It's one of those roads where you're not like zooming down it because obviously you're going up a fucking mountain, so you don't be stupid.
Yeah.
But it's very pretty, very scenic. I'm trying to think if there's are there any other yeah, and then even like some of like the back roads, like when we were in Florida, like we would have to go out to Valdosta, Georgia, and there was just a back road, just a long back road going like 45 miles an hour on like farmlands and stuff like that. Like those were nice little like scenic drives pretty much. So yeah, I mean lots of roads for me, but I just like to drive. I mean, we joke around about it all the time. Like I think I might have missed my calling as a trucker just because I just really enjoy driving. Like I like to drive.
Yeah, I used to be like that. I used to drive everywhere. I mean, the best
Yeah.
roads I think I've ever driven on. Well, one definitely the way up to Ben Nevis in Scotland, where we were going up to hike
Okay.
up to the tallest peak in the UK. Um,
Hmm.
multiple times had to pull over because I just wanted to look. Like I was fine. I wasn't focusing on the road. I was like, I need to look at this. Like the
Yeah.
fields and the waterfalls and the
Hmm.
even the infrastructure up there was just gorgeous. Like, I
Yeah.
was just blown away. Um, and then you also like the thought goes at the back of your mind, like if I get out and I look at my phone, I've got no signal. It's like if my car don't start now, I'm fucked. It's like,
Yeah.
and then the second probably best that I've driven on is probably like the foot of Mount Olympus in Cyprus. And we were going through
Okay.
like it was like almost like a forest area, but with
Yeah.
like houses running up these like mountainous hills. Oh, it was gorgeous.
Hmm.
Great driving road as well. You know, like the sweeping
Yeah.
ones. I wasn't driving anything
Yeah.
fancy. I think I was in a Skoda, a rental Skoda.
Yeah. Mhm.
But that road was like really cool. And then I got to the top and I accidentally drove into the military base, and there's a lot of people with guns at the top of Mount Olympus. I was like, I'm sorry, bye. I'm putting it in reverse.
Yep. "Oh, why? I didn't mean to. Hello."
It's like they looked at me, and I'm like, you know, like where you just look at someone and they look back at you, and you go, "I'm fucked." Sorry. We've
"I'm
literally
not
drove
supposed to
to
be here."
because Google said there was a car park. So I'm
Yeah.
driving at the top of the mountain because I'm like, I don't want to hike up it because it's not really hikeable. It's not.
Yeah.
There's no like paths or anything. Um,
Mm.
and we passed like this first like car park area, but it doesn't look like a car park. It's just like a gravel area. I'm like, it's got to be further up. It'll just be around the corner. And then as I turn the corner, there's like 4 soldiers with guns, and they just don't say anything. They just look at me, and there's me and Rach and Skoda, and I'm like, I think I'm going to turn around now. So I put it in reverse and pull back around and park at the bottom bit, and then we walk up and look at it, and it's like a full on like I didn't realize at the time it's a full on military base, like active military base.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
so that was also like it wasn't near death. It was close to near death though. I could have
Yeah,
been.
it could have been. It could have been. It could have been. You got a little bit closer, they would have thought you were
The
Croatian,
couple
and
of
it
couple of
would have been
warning
over.
shots.
They would have thought you were from the Crimea. They would have shot you right then and there.
Oh, well,
But that's
this has
fun.
been a good
That's
one.
good.
A whole journey down.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got to drive best roads we've ever driven on and dream cars, but we got there, and it's been a fun one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It's good. It was good. It was a good time. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this impromptu pre-recorded session. Hope you guys, in the comments, let us know what your guys' dream cars are, or just any fun car stories that you guys have. Be really cool to see those. And don't be afraid to drop a question of the week down there that you want us to discuss, and just keep your eyes peeled for more podcasts coming out on Monday, some mid-form content coming out later in the middle of the week, and obviously stay tuned to DHH Plays for any of our gaming content and live streams. But until then, guys, we will see you guys on the next episode. Oh, bye bye.